hope you all are doing well. How are you doing?
I'm okay. You?
It's good. I'm good. Can't complain.
Good.
Today we're going to have a real serious topic. More serious than the ones that we had before.
Okay.
Let's do our toast. Here's to you guys. I hope you have a great weekend.
Yeah, indeed.
And here's to you.
To you, my
I
love.
love you. So good.
Yeah, indeed.
So, I want to start off by saying, on January 26th of this year, 2020, we lost Kobe Bryant and his daughter and 7 other people in a horrific helicopter accident. And it was very surprising to all of us because everyone was so young. And it was terrible. It was awful. However, today's topic is about Allison Morris. Should she be fired? Hi, William. How are you?
Peace.
Peace. Should she be fired? I'm going to play a video, and we're going to go ahead and, not a video, I'm going to play
soundbite.
A soundbite, thank you. And I want to hear everyone's opinion on this. And then, of course, I want to hear yours, too.
Athlete, the kind of star that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers. Kavita, if I could ask you to stay with us, we're going to go. Athlete, the kind of star that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers. Kavita, if I could ask you to stay with us, we're going to go. Athlete, the kind of star that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers. Kavita, if I could ask you to stay with us, we're going to go.
So, guys, that was it. Did she say Nakers or did she say niggers?
She said nigga.
Okay, so the MSNBC has not responded to any post in regards to this, nor was she fired as it was claimed to be on social media. However, I need to know what's your opinions on this. Ben, I'm going to start with you. You said she said nigger. She did not say nigger. Oh, wait, before I say that, I do want to say, as you heard this statement, she did try to clean it up really, really fast. And then she went on her Twitter account, and Allison Morris went on to say that she apologized. She was combining Knicks with Lakers, and that's what came out. And she actually said Nakers. What is your opinion on that?
We who have heard that word a million times a day for all of our lives know a pronunciation, enunciation, whatever it is, the word said was nigger. Alright? That was it naker? Or, for example, I was making a point earlier to one of my students, and in my mind, I was thinking of the mind-body connection in breathing exercises and so forth. And I said, Mobby. Okay, I said Mobby. This is the exact example she tried to use on the Twitter. Mobby sounds like mind body. It sounds like I was trying to say mind body.
Or combining two
Or
words.
combining two words. And the point is, this is what was going through my mind at the moment, and that's the way it came out. That word was nigger, not naker. Knicks and Lakers does not combine.
Suppose you say it really, really fast. Naker, naker, naker. I am saying naker.
Say it fast again.
Naker, naker, naker.
First of all, you sound like you don't speak English and it's not your native language. And if that were the case with her, that could be understood. But that was not the case. She speaks perfect English. We understand perfect English. And again, that word is a word that we are quite familiar with. There was no K. That was a IGG in that word. And there's no getting around that. But at the end of the day, the question is, should she be fired?
Right. Now, I also agree with you. I believe she said the word nigga. I heard it. If you guys heard it, she said it quite a few times.
On the loop. Somebody trying to clarify.
Yeah.
This is exactly what was said.
On the loop. Just in case you didn't hear it, that's what she said. And the question, you're right, is should Allison Morris be fired? What is your take on that?
Yes. Because of the fact that, well, all right, should she be fired? All right, no, I'm going to go with my original. Yes. At the end of the day, it's like this. Like something that was pointed out to me. Vehicular homicide is vehicular homicide. What do I mean by that? If you're driving and you get a text message and you look down, just that second, you look down and looked up and you hit and killed somebody, would that stop the consequences from that's going to happen to you because you say it was an accident? No, you're going to pay the price at the end of the day. And on the other end of that, the network is going to, I would think, try to distance themselves from that as much as possible. So, hey.
I don't think she should be fired. I'm going to read some comments before I go on. So God said, let's be clear, Kobe has nothing to do with the Knicks, and you're right. We know that. He's a Laker. However, I think she is in New York. She grew up in New York.
Okay.
And yes, she grew up in New York.
And the relevance?
She might have still had the team on her mind. I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt, although I know she did not say Nakers. And Williams said, well, in my opinion, she should be reprimanded in some way, shape, or form from her superiors or higher ups. Yes, I think so, too. I think...
that was going to happen anyway.
Well, it hasn't.
Are you telling me, in light, especially all of the coverage that this has had, she has not met behind doors with somebody?
Okay, MSNBC has not made any...
Right, and they're not.
And right, well, no, they could have apologized.
No, eventually, they're going to come to, yeah.
So they didn't say anything about it, nor are they trying to make any statements or anything.
Nope.
Just on the basic research that I did pull up. Nor has she been fired. Now, she did apologize. I don't think that she should be fired because I think that we all make mistakes as being human. Whether her thought process was Knicks and that came out, her intention, because even if you listen to what had happened, if you had listened to what happened during the statement, what she said made no sense to even put that word there. It was blew out of her mouth. It fell out of her mouth. How do we know? Let me give you a scenario. How do we know she didn't have a conversation with someone prior to that and was upset because somebody had used that word in her presence, and as her talking and saying what she's saying, that word was still there and that popped out of her mouth?
Valid point, valid statement, but that does not change. That does not change.
Here's the thing. If she had said it and it made sense in what she was saying, then I would say, yeah. Fire her. Get her out of here. We don't want to see her anymore. This, that, and the third.
See, you are looking for absolute fault. Look, at the end of the day, especially the way they play politics, bureaucracy, and all of that, based on the way business is done here, fired. She should be fired because at the end of the day, the responsibility, you are responsible for getting the news out to the millions, the masses, the this, the that. We depend on you to give us accurate, blah, 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 information. There are certain positions you're not in a position to slip up like that.
Okay. Now one of my other questions, it's a question, something to think about. Usually when people are doing news broadcasting, there is a teleprompter.
You know what? And that's the thank you. I couldn't remember that. Thank you. You just helped me. That's significant to me. That's the biggest point to me because that is true. There's a teleprompter, which means she's reading from that teleprompter. And so something tells me she read nigger.
You think somebody put that in the teleprompter?
It's possible. You can't say no.
Are you serious?
Because, listen, on the role of reading because she's trying to get the thing out. She doesn't have to depend on anything because she knows that teleprompter is there. There are certain things that she can be independent on, but overall, look at the way it came in. This is Kobe Bryant, the situation, blah, blah, blah is going on. They're telling her what to say in that instance. So you're telling me in the middle of reading the prompter, la, 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 la,
okay.
nigger.
Well, see,
she came out with nigger?
Here's another thing. Now, also, too, for people that don't know, and I don't know if MSNBC has that, they have a little mic in your ear.
Yes.
And that's when they will give you direction on what to go and what to do. Maybe she heard somebody use that word in the background and then inadvertently repeated it. And that's why she stumbled on her word.
All right, but you know what you're saying? All together, at the end of the day, then she ends up the scapegoat. The point is, somebody gonna pay for that.
Okay, so let me read some comments. Maybe somebody should pay for that. Yes. Well, yes, I agree either way. Somebody should pay for it, but not with their livelihood. So God said, no one heard that hard G pronounced in there.
No one.
No one.
I did. I heard it quite clearly.
Okay, and so God said, fire her for not being professional. The word Knicks doesn't have a G in it. Neither does Lakers. William said, well, they fired the Canadian hockey legend Don Cherry, so she should get the pink slip as well. So God said teleprompters were used during a live broadcast? Maybe.
They are. They're definitely used during live broadcast. That's a fact.
Yeah, because there has to be production and things in place so that people do watch what they say. So God said maybe she feels the NBA is full of niggas.
And could be, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel like that. I have no doubt of that.
Okay.
I've encountered too much in my life.
Do you and I both agree that she didn't mean for that word to slip out, to come out? Because I'm using the word slip. Let me change it. Do you feel like she did that on purpose?
No, that would have been the stupidest thing in the world for her.
Do you agree also that the word
Unless
nigger did not have any content in what she said? It made no sense.
It didn't.
Okay, so we both agree it's a slip. Should she get the pink slip for slipping?
I don't believe it was I don't think it's as simple as that. That is a very specific word. You specifically. And had she used that word in a European situation, a white situation, I could have accepted that as a slip. But because of the fact that he is black and everything about it was black, the NBA black, and then all of a sudden niggers is in there, I can't give that. I can't. I don't see how that can be overlooked.
Well, I don't know. I still think it was a slip of the tongue. I still think it is.
What kind of slip of the tongue is that? I don't know.
So God said, she spoke her mind. Who knows how many times she uses that regularly? Okay, agreed. I respect the hell out of the NBA. They were the team that brought my city a championship. Okay.
But the point is, we're still talking about this woman. The NBA is us, period. And that is true. And for her to utter that word, pertaining in the context of. You say yes, in context of the statement it made no sense, but in context of the overall,
Okay,
yeah.
So are we basically holding revenge for things that have happened to us and have been said to us, that anytime the word is used of someone who is not African American, black, listen.
We are not immigrants.
Listen, let me make my
All right, we're not African Americans. We're not immigrants, people.
Make my point.
African American. Y'all need to wake up.
Making a point. Hello. The point I'm trying to make is that are we holding, grabbing her that we're like doing the off with her head? She said it. Cut her off at the head.
We don't get any mercy.
Okay, so it's revenge for you.
You can also see revenge in this instance can also be called as justice. What's an eye for an eye? An eye for an eye isn't necessarily revenge. It's justice. This is what was done. This is what was done here. Now you've done it. Now you get the same in return. What?
Okay, so how many reporters, other people who have made such things and...
No, I'm going to give you somebody that should not have been fired.
Before we go into that, give me a moment. How many people have said the N-word, lost their careers, and then the next person come around and do the same thing? We're not even making an example of her. It's not going to stop anybody else from doing it.
No, but it's supposed to. But it's supposed to. But it's not law. They fired an individual for making what was it? He was making his point, and he referenced slavery, and he got fired because he referenced slavery.
Who are you talking about?
Was it Jimmy Breslin?
No.
What? Oh God!
Yes.
Was it Ines? All right. What was said was they asked him about. This was years ago. They asked him about black players. And he went on to describe the practice of slavery, how we were bred, how you took this type of black man with this black woman, you put them together to get bigger, stronger, again, okay, that type of stuff. And for that, he was fired. He really was just trying to answer a question, and there was no bias in his response. I heard it. I mean, my family, big sports and all that back then. I listened to this live. He didn't say anything wrong, but he was fired for it. Now, we got an individual that full out says, nigga. Oh, you got to go.
I'm going to read some comments. I would say viewer discretion is advised, but it should be no kids looking.
Right, this anyway. We said this is not for kids, so hey.
Williams said, I respect the hell out of the NBA. They were the team that brought the city a championship. Then he also went on, well, excuse me, the Toronto Raptors were the team. And he said, can't even speak English anymore. He can't even speak English anymore. Apparently, neither can I. And then Cigar made a good point. Wouldn't she be fired if she said pussy, dick, bag, etc.?
Yeah. Yes, brother. Absolutely. Oh God! And had she referenced something of the alphabet people, she would have definitely been fired.
Okay.
So, hey.
Okay. So, and then Cigar went to clear up. Imus made the comment, nappy head hose. Yes, that's what he said.
That was the recent one. There was one prior to that. Yes, I remember that.
And he got fired. But the point I'm making is that you want to make Allison Morris another example out of what not to say. And of course, no one should say anything derogatory against anyone whatsoever. But what do we get out of her being fired?
Her? In truth?
Who apologized, who humbly apologized.
Look, first and foremost, she's not Trump. That everybody is hanging on the word to see what Trump is going to tweet today. If anything, she should have gone back on live TV where the mistake was made.
Okay.
To get out to those people, because not everybody is sitting up here looking for Twitter.
Her Twitter, her Twitter was publicized.
No, I want to see you. I want to look you in your eye.
Okay, maybe MSNBC didn't allow her. Remember, there are producers, there are directors who may say,
no,
let it go.
They're trying to sit up here and keep it. First of all, in my opinion, the very fact that they haven't responded to the public and so on and so forth, they're hoping that if they be quiet, they'll sit up and shut up and then it'll fade away.
Will it?
No. Because he died. There are too many individuals who will hop on it. And they're going to run it.
We'll see.
I mean, yes, given time, the question is, like everything dies. Everything dies. The question is, what is the time? What is the time span on it? How long will it be before it dies? If they speak or if they don't do anything, so on and so forth, and then this chick, and they just put her back on.
No one is going to stop watching MSNBC.
I didn't say anybody was going to stop watching it. What I am saying is that how do you know that they will not now? Look, they're one of the majors. Come on, ABC, NBC, CBS. No, they're not going to stop watching them, but it does not mean that they will not get under fire from the public behind that. Because they'll be looking at, how did you let this individual still continue to do this? And while we may not be able to pull up examples upon examples upon examples, there are individuals out there who do know stuff, and they'll be bombing them with it.
Okay. Some more comments. Cigar said, better journalism. William said, you get vindication out of her being fired.
Yeah.
Said, hi, Red. Hey. And Cigar said, her making that lame-ass excuse only increases the effect. And
I do agree with that. Because it's just like, who told you to come up with that one?
She had, you know what? I agree, guys. I agree. I think her excuse was really lame. I think that, but how else could she say, I accidentally slipped up? I accidentally slipped up and said that word.
And then what excuse do you have for that? That's crazy. Look.
I got a question. And I apologize for cutting you off. Remember back during the Super Bowl, Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake's performance. And during the performance, Justin Timberlake snatched off her shirt and her breast was exposed. Did you feel like Janet should have been fined and all of that other good stuff that happened to her?
No. Because of the way it happened.
People think she did it on purpose.
I've heard that. And I'm like, my question is, what people thought she said that or did that on purpose? Honestly.
Quite a few.
Quite a few who?
Various people. Now, I know I was annoyed that Justin Timberlake didn't get any kind of fine because he's the one that ripped it off for her. But since it was her body,
so
she was hammered, she was fined, and everything else.
Which was ridiculous because your point, I didn't think about it from that point of view. You're correct. He ripped it off of her. So, what? And they said in the, well, not excuse, but in what they said had happened was they put what she had on together there, right there. And so somebody did a poor job, and that's the reason it happened like it did. But she got fined, and she should not have been. Because, and your point is still at the end of the day, Justin tore it off.
They should have, but then if that, just getting off topic a little bit, I felt like if they were going to get fined, they should have both got fined.
But they were not.
Okay, but meanwhile, somebody might have put that in her ear, or you said the teleprompter, but she should be fired.
Again, at the end of the day, somebody is a scapegoat. The front man who is ever there. Now, I'm hearing where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, unless whoever was running the teleprompter, they're going to put that individual's head on the block.
Yes.
Then it's her. But somebody.
I hear a little double standard on that. Let me read.
Why?
Let me just read some comments.
Why is it a double standard?
Janet shouldn't have got fined, but she should get fired. I'm hearing a double standard. So God said it won't be addressed because it was towards the blacks.
That's another good point.
Doug said that's the point. As long as they keep getting ratings, nothing changes. And he also said it was staged, the Janet Jackson thing. So God said, wasn't that orchestrated? And William said, who could forget that wardrobe malfunction? He thought it was awesome.
A lot of people thought it was awesome.
And then Doug said, yes, it was staged. And then so God went on, she should have sued Timberlake. If Bill Cosby tore a woman's blouse off, he'd be crucified.
Right. Had it been a reverse situation, that's right. It wouldn't have been that.
So many records the next day. Good point.
Come on, wait a minute. Come on. Yeah, now let's not talk about marketing. That's it, of course. Janet Jackson, at that moment, she became the biggest thing on the planet.
She already was the biggest thing on the planet.
In that move, she transcended the norm. It went outside. So, I mean, the planet. But the point is valid. Had the situation had it been, God, I had her name in my head a minute ago. Who was the white female who was big, like Janet, at that time?
Oh, was that a slip-up? Should you be fired?
Funny. The difference
Should you be fired?
Look, a T and a C. Come on. In the same
A G and a K.
Nigger. No. Janice. They're very close. Okay? Janice is very close.
Nigga.
If you spoke Taiwanese, okay, and you don't.
So God made a good point. I wonder if more people are watching MSNBC.
Good point.
That's a good point.
Because they may have drove their ratings up because she said that. And they're looking to see what's up, and everybody's in.
What else is going to happen, right?
Right. Look, we all know sensationalism, tragedy, catastrophe, all these things draw attention. All of these things will always draw attention. But now we got to go past that. What is it? Because we're also talking about standards. You said it was a double standard. I don't see it as a double standard because, number one, we've been at the bottom of the pole anyway. If it was any way to put it on us, it will be and has been and will continue to be.
I can definitely agree that.
Because
because they do it, we should do it too.
Look, somebody's got to pay. So what? Are you saying that just let it go? That gives them the thing to continue to keep doing it.
I feel like there should be some consequence. Her being fined, maybe MSNBC being fined for hiring her, hiring somebody who could just accidentally slip that of the tongue. If you want some real action, don't go for her. She's a peon. Go for the powers that be.
Wait a minute. You know what? Something just dawned on me. For all y'all that just saw that newest Dave Chappelle.
Doug said it's all about the numbers.
Yeah. But it was something just came to me. For those of y'all that saw that newest Dave Chappelle, when Dave was talking about, for those that saw it, he made a point about when he was doing the Chappelle show, they have a person in an office that goes over their things to make sure you don't say what they don't want you to say on their network. After everything, not going to do his skit, but at the end of it, nigga was all right. They did not have a problem with nigga. Everything else, the gays, whites, whatever else, there might have been a problem with. But when it came to our thing, it was all right. And Dave had to turn around and look at her and say, what? Well, I'm not that, but this is a reference that is made to us. But it was all right. That point that was made earlier, you know something? Nothing may happen to her. It just dawned on me.
So should she be fired?
Nah, I'm more adamant. Yes.
So she should be fired, but nothing happens to MSNBC.
Oh, they should be too. I mean, they can't fire them.
Should they boycott them? Should they be boycotted?
But they're not going to. I can't speak to something that I know won't happen. All right? It won't happen.
She's not going to get fired. We are speaking on something that's not going to happen. So God said, if a black woman would have said cracker and the dead person was white, would she have been fired?
Without a doubt, we would have. She might. She would have been fired before the airing of that show was over.
We don't know that.
Yes, we do.
We don't know that.
Yes, we do.
It's all speculation.
That's not
Everything that we're doing today is speculation.
No, it isn't, because
all
we need to do. Look, you can extrapolate the conclusion by everything that has continuously happened to us already. It is not new. This has been the norm. This has been a normal practice in everyday American life. So you're saying it's speculation. That's ridiculous compared to everything. You can go by the numbers of everything that has gone down. If there was somewhere to blame on us and make us pay for it, yeah. It never, it was, come on, no. I am totally, go on. Go on, yo.
Yeah, well, I think there's a petition going around on social media on whether she should be fired or not. I think the petition would be more active if it were in MSNBC.
The petition is going around to fire. Wait a minute. The petition is going around to fire her.
To fire her, yes.
Shit.
Because of her because of what she said. I'm going to call it an accident because I believe it was an accident. I think that we are punishing her for a thought that came out of her mouth.
We've been punished for thoughts that came out of our mouths.
And that's where the revenge comes in. That's where the revenge comes in.
Look, if a black man could be lynched and burned and castrated for just looking, then for what was said, oh yeah. I don't want to hear about that was 50 years ago. No, now it's more sophisticated. Come on. Y'all, no. And, well, that depends on where you are. If that matters, that depends on where you are. Black people are still disappearing and nobody knows what. So right. I ain't been trying to hear that. So yes, she should pay.
So God said Facebook petitions don't count.
They sure don't. You tell me where they do.
I don't know.
They don't.
I don't know.
You ain't never heard of it happening. Ever. That's the point. It ain't happening.
And it
so
doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Facebook.
So I think probably calling the station and demanding why hasn't she been fired and what are they going to do, because they haven't responded to what's going on. Mm-hmm. Because I'm sure that they believe that this too shall pass.
Yeah, and that's what they're banking on.
And it will.
As time goes on, yeah. Let's just say, look, it's just like all the blacks that have been shot by the cops. Yes, there's an uprising. People are screaming, so on and so forth. They're but marching. Ultimately, marching, yeah, and then what? And then it dies down because none of the mainstream care. So, yeah, because, listen.
No.
Do you know what the reason Martin Luther King was so big? Is because Caucasians were involved. Malcolm, on the other hand, was a straight-up enemy because it was all black. The Panthers were a straight-up enemy because it was all black. Anything that was all us has been relegated to nothing. Get rid of them, they're a problem, blah, 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 blah. But if they're involved with it, changes the entire complexion of the situation. So,
So God is bringing a point that I was getting ready to go to. How many blacks actually watch MSNBC? And see, that's a very good question, because if you're not a viewer, just like I said before, if you're not a voter, your opinion really doesn't count.
No, listen, but it was just like what was mentioned earlier. It's all about numbers. Who knows our percentage in the United States? What are we, 10, 13%? There's only 44 million of us in this, 45, in this country. Okay, out of the 390 million. So, yeah, it don't matter. We don't count per se. We're great for entertainment. Beyond that. Which is why Kobe is so, the thing is going all over the place. He was a great player for the team because now sports is a national thing.
And he does, and
you know what I'm saying?
things as well.
But he is known for that. He is known for as the Kobe Bryant, the basketball player. Okay? Based on that. But beyond that, because Kobe, if Kobe had been a regular, had been me, he'd just be another dead nigga. And that's all there is to it. They don't, you know.
Douglas said anything that brings us together is deemed as wrong and to preach.
Fact.
Absolutely. I agree with that as well.
If we don't involve them, that they can somehow be at the helm or inside to see what we're actually doing, yo, please. We're automatically branded a problem.
I agree.
So what?
I can agree with that.
So, but while not trying to get off topic, should she pay? Yes. Should she be fired? I say yes. But somehow, I mean, look, my conspiracy theory behind is even bigger than that. Because I have a problem with the fact that even in a slip, she could have said that. And I do. I have a problem with that. I'm more of the mind of, she said that and she got paid. For whatever reason. It's like, look, because if she got fired for saying it, then that means, as you were saying when we first came up with this topic, her career is ruined. On the norm, that would be right. But who would knowingly do something stupid like that? Unless you didn't have to worry about it.
So Gar made a good point. If the media didn't blow it up, would blacks know or express this so-called outage? To be honest with you...
For those that would have been there to have seen it, I think so.
Time out. The media didn't blow it up. Social media blew it up.
Right. If they could have overlooked it, they would have.
Right. Social media blew it up. The first time I seen it was somebody's post that shared someone's post and was like, what? What did she just say?
Yep.
And they played it back.
Yep.
That's why we don't have all of it. We just have that part.
Oh, no. I was able to hear the whole thing. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I was able to hear the whole thing. And it really wasn't...
I wish you had have gotten that.
No, but listen. What was played, they didn't... What we got, it's really not that much. It was the beginning that we missed. They just brought her in. She had just started. And then we got to go to commercial. That's the way it ended.
Oh, well, then that
we didn't really.
Too.
Yeah,
that
you have enough. Because remember, I thought, I was like, God, I want to hear the beginning and the end of this, too.
Well, then I heard
the whole thing. Yeah, and it was like, no.
So God also said, has anyone from the white media spoke on this issue?
Nope.
Yes.
Who?
Yes. It
Who?
was on the news.
This particular issue about her saying nigga?
Yes.
Oh, tell me.
It's all over the news. I've seen it on my local news stations.
Pray tell, what was said?
Well, they were just telling what happened. They said what happened. They played the thing bleeping out the N-word. Now I'm calling it the N-word. They bleeped it out. And then they also said she went on Twitter and she apologized for what she said. So yes, the media white media, as you say, has spoken up on this issue. Now, did they voice an opinion about it? No. She wasn't the thug. She wasn't the...
Why would they? They would never paint her in that image.
She wasn't the wild child. She wasn't the...
They would never paint her in that image.
All the other words that they used to
She
describe
represents
people.
them. She would have never been described in that. She was representing them. They would never put her in that light.
But the point I'm making is that, yes.
But we would have.
Yes, she was known as the reporter, Allison Morris. And that that people are requesting that she be fired. So they did report on what happened. So I did see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so... But there have been no responses from
NBC.
Did I stumble on my words?
Oh, stop it.
Maybe she was drinking wine.
That wine, though. That wine.
And she never said the word, there'd be nothing to bleep out Drell. I know that's the case. I'm not saying that wasn't the case, but I'm just saying they were bleeping it out and explaining on what happened because they can't say it on
national TV.
State your name and where you're calling from.
This is Doug from Brooklyn. How y'all doing, Hills?
Hey,
what's
Doug,
up, man?
How are you?
Peace.
I'm great. But, you know, we going back and forth, back and forth. They're going to justify the fact that she might have said nigger with the fact that we use the word nigger.
Facts.
Meanwhile, you got the 700 Club that came on every day while Obama was in office and complained about our First Lady with her arms exposed. Meanwhile, we got a porno queen that is now the First Lady. But nobody complains about that. They complain about and say on TV all the time that Michelle Obama was a transvestite.
Yeah.
But nobody's got a problem with that.
Yeah.
So a word that we use, it seems like it was a slip. Even if that's what she meant, she didn't mean to say it on air. Well, what's going to happen eventually? Nothing. That chick ain't losing her job. We still going to be using the word toward each other, and we still going to get offended when they use it.
Yep.
That is true.
Yep, I agree with that.
Thank you so much for your opinion, Doug. Thank you.
All right, brother.
You're welcome.
Peace, man.
Peace.
Later.
All right.
That's a very valid point.
And it is. And that was always the justification. Well, they use it. Well, yo, we look, again, and I've got to say this. I have to say this. Look. We heard the word thousands, millions, whatever times a day during slavery. We heard it after slavery. We heard it. We've always heard it. How could it not become a part of our vernacular? How could it not? Everything man learns by within their experience. This is man, period. All right? We changed it. For us, it became a term of endearment. When we look at each other and we say, nigga, please, or whatever, there's an understanding, voiced or unvoiced. Whenever a Caucasian makes that statement to us, it was one of disdain, one of hate, one of nigga die. Yes, there's a difference. Yes, we have a right to sit up here. We're trying to cope with something that was thrust upon us to begin with. We didn't just start using this word. Oh, they call each other that. Y'all called us that. And we had no other recourse during the years that it was pounded in our head to call ourselves anything else.
What?
We had no other recourse. Listen.
They
First of all,
also
wait a minute.
used the
Wait.
Porch monkey. They used the word boy
No,
to describe
but
men.
hold it.
We didn't adapt those.
Wait a second. Wait a minute. Boy, that stands alone because that's the boy man
Darky,
thing. Listen,
wench.
that's something used amongst them. Look, nigga was applied to us only and solely. We didn't ask for the word.
I understand that, and Sagard, I believe, is agreeing with you. He said blacks don't use the word the same as they do, and we all know that. Yes,
we all know that.
Unless, unless, of course, there is a violent situation going on, then they mean it just the same way.
Wait a minute. Let's get something understood. Within our culture, within us, they're the ones that came in and interfered with us.
And we have adapted.
And we have adapted to this. Now, there are negatives and so far, a whole lot, mad negativity that we have adopted from them because we had no other choice. Because we didn't have any other examples. This was our existence.
Okay.
All right? In getting along and moving ahead. Hell, even into the 21st, whatever, 1920s, 1900s, whatever, coming into it. It wasn't the, 40s, 50s. They were still with the nigga in that same rah. So, yes, we still had that name amongst ourselves. What has it been? 50, 60. Martin and Malcolm, I came out, well, he's late 50s, whatever. 60s, let's just say 60s till right now. Many have spoken of, don't use that word nigga, blah, blah, blah. It's a negative connotation, blah, blah, blah. We know this, but at the end of the day, we've literally got centuries of ingrained thought. We have far worse habits that we have acquired than calling each other nigga, that we have gotten from him. All right, but sticking with that word, we changed we changed it. It's not a justification, but it was a way that we could deal with it. All right? Who the hell ever thought that we were going to be? We didn't come over here desiring to eat pig intestines,
All right.
but it has now become a delicacy. It has now become part of so-called Black America. But nonetheless, all right, come on. Just because, no, they can't use that against us. At least not from my perspective. I don't care. Y'all do it so we can do it too. What? No.
Okay, so, Doug wrote, niggas is what we should be using. So God went on, just because blacks use the word towards blacks doesn't mean it's okay. You didn't get that on my chair, I hope. So God
He
said,
did it.
they always holler, blacks kill blacks like that makes it okay. And then he says, pass. Doug says, pass. The thing is this.
I
In
didn't say it
Spanish,
was right.
negro,
Means black.
it means black. And it actually means black, the color.
Yes,
Not
the
the
color,
person.
not the person. You're right.
The color. Negro is black.
But the definition of nigga is, there's a definition, an ignorant
person.
An ignorant person.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was changed because that wasn't the original definition.
And I believe that's
And
something
it
that they
was
decided to
changed.
put on that because originally it meant black slave.
Black person, yes, black slave.
All right.
Absolutely.
So what?
Then when I went back to the dictionary and seen it, it said ignorant person. So I said, oh, okay, so we can use that against everybody.
Yeah.
According to the definition,
Webster's
definition.
Look, at the end of the day, should she be fired? Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna take the long road on this. I'm gonna say, go ahead, fire her, let her go. But what do we do about MSNBC, who hired her?
MSNBC, again, they're one of the big three.
Hey
What
guys, I got an idea. Why don't we file a civil lawsuit against them?
On
Class
what?
action.
A class action based on what?
Based on hiring someone who was irresponsible, and them not vetting the person to make sure they weren't racist to offend the black culture.
Then we should do that to the
Yeah, that's better than marching.
That's true.
Hurting them in their pockets.
Well, no, if that's the case, then we need to attack the Justice Department with that one.
You can sue anybody.
Shit.
And then so God said, is she a skinhead? And she'll do well in the sex industry.
Wow.
He's just saying.
What? Sex industry?
Yeah. So the thing is that if we're going to make a stand, she's the lowest person on the totem pole.
In that instance, yes.
In that instance. Everybody's like, get her, let's get this petition, get her fired.
And if they go after, and trust me, if you were to go after MSNBC, she's definitely getting her head chopped
But we
off.
don't care about, listen, I don't care about that.
No, because I hear what you're
If you really
saying.
want to make some real change,
I say make noise.
make noise. You want it to go national. You want people to know you're never going to say that name. Tie them up in legal stuff. Legal litigation. Yes. Negus is a royal title in the Ethiopian
Facts. I know about
Semitic language.
Yes.
Yes.
That is
Okay.
true,
Thank
too.
you. I didn't know. Thanks for the
This
education.
is true. But and while I've been aware of these things and these terms, we're talking about it as it applies here.
And you know what,
as it
Doug?
is used here.
You know what? Yes. But I'm going to agree with Doug on this. I like that. So when I look at you and go, hey, niggas.
Yes.
I am giving you a royal title. I am not making something that was from a bad place.
You just said niggas. not nigger.
No, I said I'm going with
Read the word. Say the word again. Enunciate.
niggas.
Niggas. Negus. Niggas.
Niggas.
Okay? This is different. Again, some people try to put it that it was part of because Niger River, Niger, the Niger River, which runs through in Africa, obvious, you know what I'm saying? They went through a whole bunch of things.
And that other word.
Right. Nigger. It is America. United States. Excuse me. Let me correct that. The United States.
I
That
agree.
is their word, their term. Negus, the Spanish.
Negro.
Negro. So I'm saying,
Right, so it's
right?
It's negus.
The negus. Yes. Not nigger.
So I think I'm gonna do that on social media when we describe blacks, people of color. Negus.
The negus.
Negus.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if we want to get rid of that word, we're gonna stop. We should stop using it and put it towards something positive.
See, the
A
problem,
royal title.
you've got a point, but there's so many of us. Look, you and I just got through watching some stuff. Our people don't even, some individuals in terms of this language that they were born and raised with, they don't know it.
But
So, stop.
I'm so not gonna get into that.
No, we don't need to, but I have to make that point in terms of now you're talking about introducing something because even with a lot of American blacks, Africa, because of those mental bombardment, is a negative connotation behind it.
We gotta stop
All right?
that.
The whole thing about savages and monkeys swinging in trees.
I don't think anybody believes that anymore.
You start to look. There are still individuals that cringe at the association with Africa.
Agreed.
Okay, and based on that, and the issue that got me more than that, the ignorant. But I'm not even speaking of the ignorant at this point. I'm talking about those who are quite learned. Maybe degrees at the wazoo and all of that, and they cringe at the thought of the connection with Africa. So, you know, we've been blasted apart for real.
We have, and
All right, and so,
this is a way to pull it back together. I'm gonna post up Negus is a royal title in the Ethiopian Semitic language. So God said, we'll see if blacks really care in 2 weeks.
What does that mean? What's in 2 weeks?
Nothing.
Ah.
We let things go. We let things go, and that's the honest to goodness truth. So if you really want to go after Allison, go after MSNBC. Because they're the ones who hired her. They're the ones who have the teleprompters. They're the ones who have the little earbuds that go in the ear that give her direction to look left, look right, turn to your right camera, look into your left camera. They're the ones who do that. They're the producers.
No, I'm sorry. For those of you who watch everything that she's saying right now, you know what's coming to my mind?
What?
The movie Bruce Almighty. When he was messing with his head, they were in his ear. The teleprompter was in front of him, but no matter what, he couldn't stop. He couldn't stop because, of course, Bruce was making him. But your point is, the teleprompter was in front of his face, and the earphones was in his ear. Now, using that as the standard of a newsroom, explain her. There is no explanation.
Right.
There is none. She should be fired.
Okay, so we're going to fire her, and we got to do something about the other part.
I mean, wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. I got to throw this in there. You're saying sanction MSNBC.
Yes.
All right? Suppose it really wasn't them.
It doesn't matter. If
they're responsible. They're the ones who held it.
If someone fell in front of a property,
they got to pay.
and they tripped, the property owner has to pay.
Right.
If a company,
Facts.
if somebody falls on somebody's property at the job or gets hurt at the job,
The company has to pay.
if someone gets offended or sexually harassed at the job,
The job got to deal with
the
it.
job got to deal with it. So since MSNBC is her employer NBC should have to deal. Should have to deal with it.
Facts.
Okay,
Facts.
and
Facts.
let them do whatever they want to do with her. So God said everyone isn't woke, and the poison knowledge is taught daily. Absolutely.
Facts.
Andrew, hi Andrew.
Peace, Flame.
Whoever files a lawsuit against the lady is probably going to lose. We're not saying file a lawsuit against the lady. Follow it against her employer. Stephanie said, hey, Steph, let her go, and another one like her will replace her. Absolutely. That's why you sue MSNBC. Andrew said, she said something that was very disrespectful, which is probably just the way she feels about black people, but this is America, and freedom of the press is all right. Yes, and freedom of speech is all right. Yes.
We don't have that. Anyway.
Right. There's certain things you can't see that you can't say, things of panic. So they'll loop it in things of panic.
Black people stand up and fight for your
Said,
rights.
nigga.
He's trying to cause a revolt and an uprising.
Yes.
Come on.
Okay, so God said it may have been done intentionally to see how far they can go.
Yo,
Possibility
I
of that
said
too.
that. That's where I'm feeling with that.
And Doug agrees. Liability goes to the owner. So they are the owner. They hired her. If we all put in a class action suit.
Stop. Let me ask you a question. All right, let's go with what you're saying right now. We're talking about the beginning of TV. We're talking huge. Who do you think would try to take that on? In terms of, do you really think any law firm would actually try to do that?
Absolutely. It's a big payday. It's a huge payday.
And it's
Not only is it such a huge payday, it is something that would be precedential.
Hold it. You're
It was
not
such a
wrong.
precedence.
You're not wrong in the payday, but do you also understand the other end of that spectrum?
What is it?
Death.
Are you crazy?
Oh no, I'm very real.
Are you crazy?
Do you really think that they would be allowed to?
Yes, they would.
No, because it's bigger than that. It's not just simply this thing right here. Because who would be behind this class action suit?
Yes, cigar.
Us.
Okay, yeah.
What? And we actually
Listen,
make an
as you
actual
like to call
kick
it,
forward?
the alphabet people, they have done it all the time.
Yeah, because
And
it's
have
also
won.
full of them.
Listen, at
It's
the
full,
end, I
that's
don't
full of
care.
them.
The
That's
point
not
I'm
us.
making,
That is not true.
The point I'm making, as long as you sit there and you go, no, it's not going to work. You know what? It's not going to work.
Okay.
Here we are
All right.
together.
All
As
right.
much as we love each other, here
No.
is the difference is we as a
You
people
see, you
cannot get anything right together. And anytime we suggest something, there's always somebody who always wants to turn around and say, no, it's not going to work.
Stop. The reason I'm saying that is because, look, I've always believed in that. Let's fight. But we have to fight. Not one, not some.
So you're trying to tell me there's no black law firms?
What I'm trying to tell you is
You're
that
trying to tell me there's no black law
what
firms?
I'm trying to tell you is that they need as much support as these individuals have behind them.
We would get it. Now,
From who? Well, as long as we do
there's
it.
the negativity.
No, that's why I stopped myself.
So God said, if we all do anything, I'd be impressed.
Thank you.
I agree.
If
I agree.
We.
Well, we can. All it takes is one person
No, it don't.
to go ahead and start the class action suit, and people will get on board. What? There's a chance we could get some money by something that somebody else said? I'm on. Are you crazy? A lawyer will definitely take it. Stephanie said, I don't think it was an accident. I think it's letting others know she's down with them. Doug said, how about we watch the Black Stallion instead? Black stations instead, excuse me. Oh, yeah.
Stallion?
We don't have any. Exactly. So God said, only thing we're doing as a people is supporting them. Okay. Our universal conscience. When you segregate yourself, you only have so much support.
Yep.
Listen.
We're segregated.
Okay, we can, you know what? We've been segregated. Hello?
Yeah. Facts. But we're segregated amongst us. That's the problem. We can be as segregated segregated from them as much as possible. We were segregated. We had better schools. We had more money. We had all kinds of stuff when we were segregated from them. But we are segregated amongst each other now.
Well, here's the thing.
That's the problem.
Here's the thing. I'm telling you, if you are offended by what happened, don't go for her head. Cut the boss's head off.
I'd love to.
Now, on that note, it's time to file out.
No!
It's time to file out. You guys have a beautiful weekend. We are going to have a good weekend. And also, too, I want to say rest in peace to Kobe Bryant, his beautiful daughter Gigi, and the other 7 people that lost their lives.
Our condolences go out to his wife and his family.
Absolutely.
So forth. And all those that died this death.
Yes.
All right, everybody.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.